Hi everyone and welcome to STEM at Home. My name is Miss Claudia and today we're going to be learning how to make invisible ink in 3 ways. And so the first method that we're going to be using is with baking soda, and here are the materials that we are going to use. Primarily baking soda, water, a spoon or anything that you can use to mix with, grape juice, any kind of measuring cup or spoons. Have cups or bowls ready next to you. You can use cotton swabs or a paintbrush and a sheet of paper. So as you can see, I have a couple of bowls that I'm going to be using to put our baking soda and grape juice. And this is my little measuring cup. Probably going to be using 1/4 or maybe half of today's ingredients. And here is the baking soda. And I also have a bottle of water. Our grape juice. We're not going to be using it all, but I have this. And a paintbrush. Unfortunately, I don't have any cotton swabs, but I'll be using this today. And our piece of paper. Okay, so we're gonna get started. We're gonna get our measuring cup or spoon, and I'm just gonna open our baking soda. And I'm gonna slowly sort of tap in the baking soda because I don't want it to come out all at once. I'm just trying to shake it inside of the cup to make sure it's flat. So I'm going to keep on shaking this and tapping it on the table until I get to at least a quarter of baking soda in this cup. Depends on how much of this mixture you want to make. I'm going to make just a little bit for myself today. Just remember that for whatever amount of baking soda that you're going to be using today, you have to use the same amount of water to create the mixture. So if we're using 1/4 of baking soda, we're going to measure a 1/4 cup of water. Okay, so I think we have pretty much the right measurement. For this, I just really want to make sure. I'm just going to keep on tapping until it's more or less flat. And so we're going to be depositing this into our bowl now. Alright, we're just going to push this out of the way for now. And we're going to get our water. Okay, and let's get to measuring. Okay. So we have all our water here, and we're just going to pour it over the baking soda. And we'll just let that sit for like a couple of seconds while I get my spoon. And here we have our spoon, so we're gonna get to mixing. We're gonna stir. So you can see all the baking soda had sunk to the bottom. So we're just gonna make sure that it's all mixed together, no clumps. Just keep stirring until it's more or less dissolved. Okay, now that our invisible ink is ready, we are gonna prepare our material. So we have our invisible ink. I'm gonna set that aside a little. We're gonna get our piece of paper. And remember, this could get a little messy maybe, so you might want to lay down either some newspapers or some paper towels. It's really up to you. But it's nice to keep a clean surface and dry. Okay, so we're gonna get our brush, and I'm gonna start writing a secret message with our invisible ink. Remember, there's two parts to the baking soda method. And comment down below if you think you can guess what I'm writing right now. Okay, now that I've written down a secret message you absolutely cannot see, we're just gonna set this aside to dry because it has to be completely dry. And now we're gonna use our second bowl. And this one doesn't require a specific measurement. We're gonna use this bowl to hold some of our grape juice. I'm gonna go ahead and open this. So while I'm getting this open, did you guys know that grapes are among the healthiest foods that you can eat? They're high in vitamin C and contain compounds that keep your heart healthy, and they're really tasty. Okay, so we got it open, so we're gonna pour our grape juice in here. And we're gonna fumble around a little to get it closed again. And here, we're gonna keep our grape juice and wait for our secret message to dry. Okay, so we're done waiting. Our message is completely dry. And I don't think that you can see anything. So now we are going to reveal our secret message. And you guys can confirm whether or not you guessed it. So we're just going to dip our brush in the grape juice. And we're going to start going over the paper. Okay, so as we're carefully rubbing or brushing on the grape juice onto our secret message, the secret message should begin to reveal itself. And it might not look like anything now, but just wait. And there you have it, our secret message, ABC123. So you could use this to make other secret messages, maybe if we change the applicator and use something else to brush on the baking soda. Do you think that would change the outcome? How does it work? So you're likely familiar with the classic baking soda and vinegar volcano experiment. This works for a similar reason. Baking soda is a base which reacts chemically with acids such as vinegar, in this case grape juice. Grape juice is a milder acid, and when it's exposed to a base, it creates a color-changing acid reaction. So what do you think would happen if we changed the grape juice for something else, like maybe soda? Try it out. Maybe you'll get a different result. Okay, so we're going to move on to our second method today, and we're going to be using a highlighter to grade our invisible ink. And so the other ingredients are warm water, a cup or any other type of container, a spoon or something to mix. I'm going to be using a chopstick. And to apply, we're going to be using, you could use cotton swabs. I don't have any, so I'll be using a brush. A Blacklight or a UV light. You can have disposable gloves if necessary. You can use paper. And to open our highlighter, we're going to need pliers or a hammer. So remember, for this one, you're going to need an adult to help you or someone to assist you. Okay, so we have listed all of the supplies we're going to be using. We're going to prepare our area. For this one, it is more likely to get messy, so I've laid down some paper towels. We have our paper. But this is the kind of secret message that you can also use on your skin. It's non-toxic. We have our highlighter here that we're going to be opening later. Some pliers. I have this little container that I'm going to be placing our invisible ink in. And I have taken some water and heated it in the microwave to 1 minute. So it's pretty hot. We're just going to leave that there for now. And the first thing we're going to do, or if you have an adult who is assisting you, is we're going to take our pliers and we are going to try to remove the back end of the highlighter. So you just sort of have to get a good grip on it and sort of twist it around or wiggle it. But be careful, okay? Okay, and we got it. Okay, so now it's open. We did a good job. Yay! Remember, always be careful. Alright, so we're gonna shake out the cartridge that's inside that holds all of the ink for the highlighter. You don't need this anymore, so goodbye. Alright, so we're gonna get ready to use our warm water. And I first am going to put some of the water in here. So be careful. The water at this point is warm, it's not hot anymore, but you should still be careful. And if you need to, please let your adult know that you need some assistance. Alright, so we're going to start squeezing our ink into this container with our warm water. Alright, so as we're squeezing the ink from the cartridge into the water, feel free to dip, dunk, and swish the cartridge in the water until you get all of the ink out. And once the ink has completely been removed, the cartridge should be definitely a little bit lighter than what it was. Oh, and if you have them available, please wear gloves, as this ink will get on your fingers. Don't know if you guys can observe or appreciate the ink all over my fingers right now. But if you can, please wear plastic gloves. If you don't have any gloves and it gets on your fingers, that's fine. It might be a little bit difficult to remove, but highlighter ink is non-toxic to skin. So if you don't have gloves, don't worry, just prepare for a bit of a mess. Okay, so as you are finishing up squeezing all of the ink out of the cartridge, remember to give this mix a little stir right before you use it. And I'm going to be using a smaller brush to write out this secret message. We're going to get ready to do that now. And remember, when you dip your cotton swab or your brush into the invisible ink to shake off any excess liquid. Alright, so I'm writing another secret message. And if you can guess what that is, please comment down below. And after we're done writing our secret message, then we're gonna do like our last one. We're gonna wait for it to fully dry before we reveal our secret message. Alright, so we have our Blacklight or our UV light. I'm gonna get ready to reveal our secret message. What could it be? Hello. Did you guys guess it? Also, remember when I told you guys that this is kind of difficult to wash off? Well, I've written the word STEM on my hand, but if you look at my fingertips, I still have highlighter on them. but it's non-toxic, so don't worry. And we have our cool message. And doesn't that look neat? Also, I wanted to show you guys how this looks under regular light. So this is our solution. This is our invisible ink. And let's see how it looks in the dark when we turn on our black light. Wow. Doesn't that look neat? So, how does it work? This experiment is an easy way to get interested in luminescence and the many ways it's present in our world, such as fireflies, which would be bioluminescence, glow sticks, which would be chemiluminescence, or glow-in-the-dark toys, which would be phosphorescence, and our highlighters in this experiment. Illuminating the solution with a black light or ultraviolet light is an example of fluorescence because once the ultraviolet light is turned off, the solution is no longer glow. Now, why exactly does this solution in a highlighter glow? This is because the highlighter contains phosphors, which is an artificial substance that emits light when irradiated or illuminated. Okay, so we are going to move on to our third and final method of making invisible ink, which is using lemon juice. So for our supplies or materials, we're going to be using lemons. I'm going to be using just one lemon, a knife, and if you are a child, then you're going to be needing adult assistance, a spoon or anything that you can use to stir, water, a blow dryer or a toaster oven, a cup or a bowl, anything that you can use as a container, a piece of paper, and cotton swabs or a brush if you don't have cotton swabs. And we're going to get ready to start. Okay, so the first step is making sure we have everything we need. So we have our lemon. I'm just going to be using one lemon for this. We have our bowl. I already cleaned and dried this out. A paper towel in case things get messy. I have these two brushes. These are smaller brushes, and this thicker brush. And a spoon to stir. And a knife. Some water. Okay. And our piece of paper. Alright, so the first step in this method is cutting our lemon in half. So please be sure to have some assistance. We cut the lemon in half. Alright, and we're going to grab our container, in this case my bowl, and we're going to start squeezing the juice into the bowl. And squeeze as much as you can. Okay, and once we are done squeezing all of the juice out of our lemons, we are going to scoop up the seeds that are in there. And setting them aside. After which we're going to add in just a little bit of water and stir it in. And we have a solution. We're ready to start. Okay, so we have our paper, we have our brush, we have our solution, and we are ready to write our third message. I'm just going to dip it in our solution, tap off any excess. And get started. Remember to press firmly when you're writing on the paper. And you might need to stir a little bit and dip into the mixture each time. Now I want to make this different, but if you can guess what I'm writing or doing, please comment down below. And after we're done doing this, remember to let it dry completely before we move on to the next step. Okay, so once you've written or drawn your secret message that absolutely nobody will be able to decipher, we're just gonna wait for it to dry and move on to the next step. Alright, so I'm gonna be using a toaster oven today. We're gonna set it to preheat at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And when we're ready, we're gonna place our paper inside. So what I haven't told you guys is that I actually made a second secret message just to test it out. Can you see it? We'll take a look at that later, but now that the oven is ready, it's preheated, we are ready to put in our first original secret message. We're just gonna carefully place that in there. If you need to, please use oven gloves. And we're gonna wait. And here we have it. Carefully remove your secret message from the oven, and I made a secret treasure map. Did you guys guess it? And the other message I made, a message from my cat. He says meow. So how does it work? So this is a pretty simple one. While you might think that paper would burn or crinkle, paper is actually made of a compound called cellulose, and each large molecule of cellulose is made up of thousands of smaller molecules of glucose, which is a type of sugar, and they're all bonded together. The citric acid in lemon juice slowly weakens the bond between glucose molecules, freeing some of them. When the paper is heated to over 340 degrees Fahrenheit, these free glucose molecules react together in a chemical process called caramelization, and this produces new compounds that have a brown color and makes the ink invisible. So let's take one last look at them. And this is the end. I hope you guys enjoyed our experiments today. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time. Bye!